Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and today I will be giving a review of the new Ill Omens Skirmish Event in the Lord of the Rings Online, and I kind of just want to summarize some of my thoughts on the event and just share some feedback. So the gameplay will be on my Guardian running through some of the skirmishes for today's daily. So first of all, I have mentioned this a few times in recent content, but I love skirmishes. I think an event for them is a great thing. The event itself is a neat idea. You go and kill harbringers of dead inside skirmishes for a daily skirmish assault quest, and you have a meta quest to complete those a few times. Additionally, there is a meta deed for level cap tier 3 skirmishers to kill a harbinger in all 19 skirmishes. So the whole idea of the event I like, and it's also just fun killing the harbingers in the skirmishes. Just adding a new component to a system I already love and feel is underutilized actually in the game right now. So yeah, there's not much else to say besides I like that part. So we are very quickly getting into the less positive feedback side of this video, but I do want to mention before I get into that I still overall enjoyed the event, but these are a few main points I have about the event that I think could be improved upon. So the first thing is one of the biggest problems I have, which was a huge frustration on the launch of the event. If you saw my stream, you probably know what I'm talking about, but the skirmishes available for the Skirmish Assault Daily don't always coincide with skirmishes you have. So the first day, they had skirmishes locked behind a Long Moria quest chain and Long Mirkwood quest chain. For me as an ultaholic, I don't really unlock all these on all my characters or any of my characters, the specific ones for that day for that matter. So from my excitement to do the event on its first day, it turned into a huge letdown and almost actually killed my interest in the event at all. Had to motivate myself to get back to doing it with that stream I did a couple days ago, but yeah, that wasn't all that great. And I know there aren't all that many skirmishes, but I wish you could start skirmishes maybe you didn't have specifically for the event. That's an idea. And maybe it could also always have the options for skirmishes that are available without doing the book quest, just as a couple alternatives to fix that. And I don't know if either solution is ideal, but that's just kind of where I stand from my viewpoint. Not much more else to go for that one. So the second point I have is I actually wish you had to complete the skirmish as a whole. Right now you still can complete the skirmish, it's definitely optional, but I feel like a lot of people just go in for the harbinger and leave. And I think the skirmish event should involve completing the skirmish to the end. It kind of just doesn't make sense that way, and maybe if they did that, they could change the rewards a little bit, but I have a lot of issues with the rewards. That's where actually most of my issues lie. But yeah, that's just something I noticed. It feels really weird that you don't have to complete the skirmish, so I just feel like you should have to. But moving on to my third point, which is the rewards that you barter for tokens of Ill Omens are quite boring. So you can get about 8 to 10 of these tokens per daily, and you need 40 of these to barter for all 5 options. So about 4 to 5 days you can get one of the options from the barter, and these options include 3 cosmetic pets and a hooded and non-hooded version of the same cosmetic cloak, and I honestly don't like that cosmetic cloak. I think it's got a neat idea to it, but the way it works with dyes especially, it just doesn't really work out. But you may have a certain outfit that it looks for, and that could be good for you, but me personally, it's not the best thing. But I just expected a bit more from here, so the announcement of the event actually sounded like the whole thing would be a lot more rewarding, the whole event, and especially as something to do for in-game gear. So the announcement of the event, in the patch notes, it said you could unlock in-game gear, and I just expected a lot more in those regards because of the announcement. And I was kind of, when I saw you could get the tokens of Ill Omens, I especially thought that something like that, you could barter for tokens to get some, maybe not even great gear, but maybe kind of similar to the 105 featured instance gear, just something like that. I just expected more and was hoping for more, maybe too much hoping there, but that was just another letdown. And in the future, I would hope that that could be improved upon. Even the existing rewards, though, just aren't that all that exciting to me. So I know I've talked a bit long about this point, but the rewards, I don't even think they need to be excellent or tons of reward options, which it may sound like from what I'm describing here, for the event to be good. It was just a disappointment from what they made it sound like on the announcement as more of an in-game gear source. At least that's what the announcement sounded like to me. So the fourth point I have is actually quite similar in that the essence boxes counting as in-game gear pieces is also kind of meh feeling. So they do have in-game gear and essences, and I don't really consider an essence piece of in-game gear, but I guess that's what they describe it as. But this one again isn't the most important thing because it's still nice to get something like that from completing the daily 12 times. But for me, I would just hope for a legendary item piece or something more useful. Not to say that essences aren't that great, but overall this is just something I noted that I expected more again from here based on the announcement, since an essence box counting as in-game gear seems kind of odd to me again. I'd expect an actual gear piece. So similarly, the meta deed for tier 3 level cap to kill 19 of the harbringers is quite the feat, but it has the exact same reward as the meta quest, and I think this could have had something different, at least even if not necessarily better. It's just a bit of a boring reward again. And I do want to mention that this doesn't also need to be some all-powerful item, just because I think it could just be something more exciting or just something different from the meta quest could be expected. But yeah, those are the main points I have about the Ill Omens Skirmish event. Overall, the event is simple and I enjoy the event. So I hope you all don't get the wrong idea from the less positive stuff that I mentioned, those 4 main points. But for that, I just feel like explaining my thoughts in more detail as a sort of feedback was kind of necessary to get my point across on those, even though I do enjoy running the skirmishes and killing the harbingers. I just would say I don't feel rewarded for doing this fun event. So participating in the event, that part's fun, but I feel like an event needs to have some sort of motivation to run it, and I just don't feel like I have any motivation to run it because I don't feel like I'm rewarded. Even though the actual participation part is fun, I don't find myself wanting to run it. So it's kind of where I am as a TLDR of sorts. And yeah, I'm not sure how much I'll be doing this in the future. I might log on a few days and maybe stream it a little bit more, but I'll probably keep my focus on Anor and the legendary servers in the future again. So yeah, that's all I have for my review of the event. If you want to know more info about the event, I did make a guide for it if you're interested in checking that out. And if you have any feedback on this review, I would really appreciate it, and I hope you all did enjoy this video. And if you did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more, and thanks for watching, everyone.